Correspondent Pierre Chandler, he's at the Erez crossing. Pierre, what's happening on the ground there?
We're going to show you with Itamar Ben-Hemo what's going on. You see a tank here, Merkava tank, which is at the entrance of the Erez crossing. But earlier we saw some M109 howitzer pulling out of the Gaza Strip, out of the northern sector where there is low-intensity warfare. And we know that by the end of the week, 5 brigades, 3 reservist brigades and 2 conscript brigades will be pulling out of the northern sector of the Gaza Strip because there's no really need for them. And here at the Erez Border crossing with the northern tip of the Gaza Strip, there's a graveyard of cars that have been standing idle for the past 90 days. 90 days that these cars are the death witnesses of the rampage that occurred in October 7. Now, look at the car. There is something interesting. All the cars' license plates have been taken out. And that probably means that instead of pulling the cars out in a zone of combat, because here even this morning there was rocket fire at 9 o'clock local time, the license plates allowed people to identify their missing relatives that they didn't know about the whereabouts. At the Erez crossing, soldiers were killed, others were kidnapped. They still remain in the Gaza Strip. 2 bodies of those abducted soldiers remain in Gaza, according to the IDF. And you can see part of the rampage that happened here. You have the windshield here, which is totally broken, that Itamar is showing you. You have these plastic handcuffs, probably put here by the rescue workers, but they're in the same color as the yellow ribbon of the campaign to release the hostages. Now, you see it's strewn with debris everywhere. And here, this graffiti on a concrete block, a graffiti of the Twin Towers of New York, because for Israel, the 7th of October is worse even in all proportion than 9/11. And you have this graffiti that has probably been painted by a soldier. Now, why am I here? Because the Erez border crossing might be reopening under US pressure. The Israeli government is considering the reopening of the Erez crossing for the convenience of humanitarian aid to the northern sector of the Gaza Strip, where between 100 to 200,000 non-involved Palestinian civilians are still remaining, and they desperately need humanitarian aid. Now, the advantage of allowing the convenience of humanitarian aid through the Erez crossing to the northern sector of the Gaza Strip is that it won't be looted or hijacked by Hamas terrorists, because they're nowhere to be seen. And we've seen videos at the Rafah terminal between Egypt and Gaza, or between Israel and Gaza at the Kerem Shalom crossing. As soon as the humanitarian trucks are entering, and there are about 200 of them every day, some of them are looted and hijacked by the Hamas terrorists, and that allows them a lifeline. And the longer the lifeline of Hamas, the longer the war will go on. So the interest is, of course, to allow the population to benefit from that aid that they desperately need, but to forbid that aid to the Hamas terrorists. Sarah?
Pierre Chandler, a chilling reminder right there behind you, those cars left behind from the October 7th massacre. Thank you very much for that update from the Erez crossing between